Debt ceiling crisis. Should you be worried? That's what we're going to break down in today's video. So, in today's video, we're going to break down the debt ceiling crisis. We're going to break down some facts, figures, numbers, logic. And should you truly be worried? I believe you should be worried only if you don't have a game plan. Our vertical financial system, go to school, get a job, get a 401k, and get some health insurance and build some safety was designed to put you in a position to never be able to retire properly, to need to borrow against your future self to keep you in a repetitive debt cycle. So, should you be worried about the debt ceiling? Well, we're going to break down what's going to happen if they don't suspend the debt ceiling or waive the debt ceiling or raise the debt ceiling, which they've done over 70 times in the recent past. Well, not the recent past, but basically, if you don't have a game plan, you should be worried. If you have a vertical strategy of just a 401k or a Roth IRA, absolutely you should be worried, because what you're doing is you're putting your financial future in the hands of somebody else. So the question I have for you is, do you know where your money is allocated? Or do you have a wealth building plan? Do you have any type of process in understanding where your money is allocated and what would actually happen if the capital markets came collapsing down? I'm 47 years old. I don't have a chance to make another mistake. I want to retire and enjoy my life. But here's some facts based on statistics. Around 96% of people retire with less than $1 million. Think about that for just a moment. And if 6% retire with $1 million, if they're getting about 4% interest, that's taking out inflation, but if they're getting about 4% interest on that money, they're making about $40,000 a year for the rest of their living benefit. Think about that for just a moment. So you go to school, you get a job, you put your money into a bank. They make money in three ways: capital markets, interest income, and fee income. So they take your hard earned money, they put it into the capital markets, they make fee income off of you, and they make interest income off of you. Okay. Then you take part of your paycheck and you put it into a 401k, and you are heavily penalized during your living years if you touch your money. Think about that for just a moment. And then you're taxed on the back end. And if you hit a capital market collapse and you're close to retirement, it'll take you 4 years to rebound back to baseline. So, yes, if you don't have a game plan and you are the head of household, then you should be worried. And you should spend the rest of your time, the next 18 to 24 months, diving into financial education, understanding how money works. This book was introduced to me, and I've already been in insurance, using insurance for wealth for about 2 years. This book was introduced to me recently, Becoming Your Own Banker. This will absolutely blow your mind. The wealthy aren't doing what we're doing. So what I've done over the last 4 years is I've started to operate like the wealthy, and it's radically transformed my life. So I want to share with you guys something powerful. We have a meet and greet coming up July 15th, Mesa, Arizona. Absolutely free meet and greet. I'm going to be doing an hour speech to kick it off, and then we're going to have a cool mingling. It is a limited event in regards to how many people we can bring there. You can bring as many people as you want. The event is almost full already. So it's a free event at our Warrior Academy, July 15th. All right, so let's dive right in. That's in the description down below. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm setting myself up and how you can get involved in our Warrior Academy to see the blueprint. Okay, so Republicans question June 1st debt ceiling deadline as talks zero in on potential trade-offs. So they have their meetings, they go back and forth. Now, here's the thing. If they don't raise the debt ceiling, our capital markets will collapse. What is that? Crypto, investments. Actually, people might rush into cryptocurrency, to be honest with you, because it's decentralized money, right? And so the capital markets, like the 401ks, things that are attached to the stock market, anything attached to the stock market, will come collapsing down, because America, which I'm going to show you on the back end of this video, is buried in debt right now. The only way we can continue to operate is to borrow more money. Think about that. The only way we can operate is to borrow more money, and our taxes are going to pay the interest on that debt. So we're in this vicious cycle, which I'm going to show you how buried we are here in just a moment. So this is going back and forth, Republicans against Democrats. The president met with the Republicans, and they have to raise the debt ceiling. If they don't, I believe it's part of a planned demolition to move us into a new velocity type of money. So who knows? But I'm not too worried about them not raising the debt ceiling. But let's listen to this gentleman and hear what he has to say about the debt ceiling
The debt
crisis?
ceiling. Are we going to get through it without a credit event?
The honest answer, we don't know yet. They may get to the last hour before there's an agreement, or it's possible they don't reach an agreement. If that doesn't happen, then the market is gonna crash, and that may force an agreement in the next few days.
Does that erode the credibility of the US, of the dollar, and American financial markets?
Well, there is a lot of talk these days about de-dollarization. The Chinese definitely want to increase the role of the RMB. If the US were to have a real problem with debt, with a credit event and so on, that's going to increase the likelihood that people are going to diversify over time away from dollar assets. That's a possibility, of course.
Nurul, there's so many stories here about.
Okay, so I wanted to have you guys hear that part. So, if the debt ceiling is not raised, we will have a catastrophic collapse in the capital markets. He also brought up, which is a common theme with all this stuff, is America is being de-dollarized. What does that mean? We have the BRICS countries: Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa, and I think 19 other countries are working to join the BRICS union or whatever they call it, right? So what they're all working to do is they're all working to de-dollarize from the American dollar. Now remember, the American dollar has no value other than our belief system. The only value that it may hold is that all oil is traded in US dollars. So if India, Russia, China, Brazil, and South Africa, with a combined GDP almost as big as America, we have the largest gross domestic product and the largest effect on the financial system. But when those juggernauts come together and they add other countries there and they work to de-dollarize, so this is where it gets kind of tricky. Okay, this is why I'm very strict on my plan and how I'm building my wealth. I don't trust what's going on in America. I don't trust what's going on in the financial system. And it seems like what I've told you guys since 2012 with the creation of the FMOC. Okay. We had the bailing committees created in 2012. CERN started in 12. The Mayan calendar ended in 2012. Obama's rescue plan, where they turn the printing machines on full blast. We're going to see the gross domestic product completely flip the debt on the back end here. So it's almost like, to me, a planned demolition. And then the World Economic Forum started bringing out the Great Reset. We know there's a huge reset happening. Okay. So White House Republicans push ahead in the US debt ceiling talks. So they're pushing ahead. Negotiators for Democrat President Joe Biden and top Congress Republican Ken McCarthy, they reconvene at the White House on Wednesday to try to close a deal to raise the debt ceiling. I think they met yesterday. There is no deal. 31.4 trillion in debt ceiling to avoid catastrophic default. So time is running out, as the Treasury Department has warned that the federal government could be unable to pay its bills. Okay, so what happens is, if we do default on our debt, critical services like pension plans, postal workers, the military, so we borrow money from foreign countries. 33% of our debt is held outside of the United States. So should you be worried? If you don't have a game plan, absolutely. And you should start to be more diligent about this. You should start to create a little synergy around this. You should have a little bit of energy around this in regards to moving your family forward, because I'm here to tell you, this is the greatest time in human history. Why am I so happy and joyful and moving forward? Because this is the greatest time when there's big transitions like this, and we're going through three right now: financial, war, and climate change at the exact same time. That will never happen in our living history again, our living history. And it hasn't happened in our living history. So here's what the national debt to GDP looks like. I want to show you this, okay? So back in 2012, well, let's start with this. This goes from 2018. I should have switched it a little bit further back. But you'll see something radical from 2008, the big financial collapse. We were positive GDP to debt. Let me explain that. So basically, the positive GDP to debt, what that looks like, let me break this down for you guys, okay? So the positive GDP to debt, so we had, if we sold all the gross domestic product, that's all products, goods, and services in America, in a simplistic term, we could pay off our debt. But you'll see a transition from 2008. This is 2018. Well, in 2012, they did Obama rescue plan. They started printing money, okay? Rosie Rios is told to reduce coin and cash usage. And then it's almost like they just ran the credit cards up. It's like, let's go. Let's just turn it on. So we went from billions to trillions. And from 2018, it goes from 107 negative debt to income ratio to 122% right now. And if we continue on this pace, by 2028, if they keep raising the debt ceiling, we'll be at 136% debt to income ratio. So ask yourself a question. If you were at 130% debt to income ratio, what would you would have to file bankruptcy? You would have to go bankrupt. Think about that for just a moment. So our country, America, is at 122% debt income ratio. As Warren Buffett's indicator says, the capital markets, the stock markets are completely overvalued, right? And why are they overvalued? Because the printing of free money, low interest rates for a long time. So they slammed on the brakes, okay? And this is what it looks like. The deficit is skyrocketing right here. And you're going to see right here, the M2 money supply is going straight down. You see where this number is going down right here? Okay, so that number is now going down. Money supply is going down. They jacked interest rates up to cool inflation. Okay, so what does that do? I've been telling you guys Q3 and Q4, I think there's going to be massive job losses. We're also in the midst of the Shemitah, the year of the Shemitah, which based on agriculture inside the Bible, Waters Above breaks it down very, very well, is there's a year during the Shemitah where there's usually a massive market collapse, okay? So what does that mean and what can you do? Is you need to start to understand deeper outside of just cryptocurrency, outside of just of a 401k. I'm not saying go cash out your 401k, you know, consult with somebody, right? But understand that when you put your money into a bank, they're going to use it. They're going to put it in the capital markets, okay? Your employer is going to take your money and they're going to put it into a 401k, which is managed by banks. They make money off the fee income, okay? And then they take your money and they buy insurance products, okay? They teach us how to insure our life, not how to insure our wealth. So what I've done is I've created this fortress around myself and I'm going into phase 2, which I call. The first one is I was back in the indoctrination system. Crypto is my retirement. Crypto is not your retirement. Crypto is an investment that make you a large amount of money. For example, my daughter is now an investor. She is in a speculative asset called crypto. Okay. We are setting up her IUL policy. My daughter, right now, as she sits, probably has more invested than more adults. She can work in a job, right? But I teach her when she gets paid from that job, her job is to multiply that money. She gets to travel around. Like a lot of parents are go to school, you know, get a job and they come out and make $30,000 a year. My daughter will retire more wealthy than most probably doctors and lawyers that spend 6 to 7 years in school. That's a fact. She's already an investor in crypto. She took her high school graduation money and put it into the capital markets during a very volatile time. She's going to have an exit plan next year as crypto goes parabolic. She'll have an IUL. She'll have an insurance plan. And I'm teaching her slowly and methodically that what she'll do is when she wants a new car, if she wants one, she'll borrow from her insurance to get an asset, to make a down payment on an asset, put some renters in it, and pay for her new car. I'm teaching her a whole new way of money. Okay. So what you need to do is build a diversification plan. And you can start very, very small. 4 years ago, I ended up on my parents' couch. I started by watching Gary Vay's flip. You know, I started flipping free stuff. I have a friend that does it. He's coming to pick some stuff up to flip. He makes a couple $100 a week. I was doing the same thing. I was flipping free stuff. I took that money, put it into the capital markets. And then I realized, oh shit, if this collapses down, I'm screwed. I'm back in the same position once again. So what I started doing, I started taking that money after reading Richest Man in Babylon, and I started diversifying. I diversified in business into attention, data, and information. I have multiple companies across different sectors. Okay. I have IUL, leverage life insurance. There's also whole life policies that I'm learning about. There's so many different ways to not just insure your life, but insure your wealth. Okay. Then you have precious metals, which is store of value. Then we're going into real estate now because now I have tax implications and I need tax liabilities. I'm not a real estate expert, but in our academy, we have Airbnb expert, we have real estate experts inside of there. Everything in the Warrior Academy is about providing you information. This is what it's about. Is how many of you watch the videos and you go to the next video and go to the next video and there's stuff everywhere, right? We silo it in, first of all, to get your shit together in the 120 challenge. Number 2 is we teach you the 5 pillars of wealth. We break down the 5 pillars of wealth. And number 3 is there's resources everywhere in there if you tap yourself in. And number 4, you're around a like-minded community of individuals just like you, so you don't feel like you're crazy and siloed and alone. So the biggest thing right now is, should you be worried? Yes. If you don't have a game plan, you should be worried. Because I'll tell you what, it's not about money. It's about freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom to be with your family. I had a devastating leg injury, guys, and I'm still here running my companies. I'm still here able to operate. I'm completely free. Think about that for a moment. When I was in corporate America, I remember when I'd want to reach out to my boss about being sick, you would feel so guilty. They'd make you feel so guilty if your child was sick. It was like you were devastated calling in sick. And if I had an injury like this and I was out for 3 to 4 months, like I'm going to be not going to the office, they would forget about me. They don't care. My team cares. We're around like-minded individuals because we're free. We understand the value of freedom, and so we support each other on that. Freedom is not money. Freedom is freeing yourself here, and understanding money is a frequency. But you need to be diligent. Faith without works is foolish, and faith without works is dead. So it's time for you to take action. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Every description down below. I would love to meet you. Completely free event. You can bring as many people as you want. It's filling up super fast though, guys. It's a free event. So click down there. There'll be an hour speech, a 45-minute hour speech. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres. We're going to introduce you to the network. We're going to hang out together and have a great time. Remember, your net worth is your network. So we'd love to see you at the event July 15th. Everything is in the description down below after this video. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.
The system is designed to keep you trapped. 2017, I walked out of a high-paid vice president job because I was absolutely miserable. Working 16 to 19 hours a day because that's what the system taught me to do. And what I discovered through countless hours of meditation, research, reading books, understanding how the millionaires and billionaires operate, the system is designed to keep you trapped. Today, I own multiple companies. I travel all over the world. I'm financially free, and that's exactly why I created this community of like-minded warriors coming together called the 3T Warrior Academy. Now, I don't say this to brag. I'm sharing this with you to show you what's possible for you. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to take your life to another level, we believe the Warrior Academy has something for everybody. Processes that take you step by step through discipline, consistent activities, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Our 120-day challenge, all you have to do is open up the app and take it day by day. We're going to take you through the discipline, consistent activities to take your life to the next level. Within 1 week, you're gonna feel a difference. Within a month, people are gonna notice a change in you. That's how powerful this 120-day challenge is. So if you're truly ready to break free from the old paradigm into a new paradigm of discipline, consistency, great relationship with your family, financial freedom, and learning the pillars of wealth that will change your life and generational wealth to come, I'm gonna invite you to do our program for 7 days for free. The 120-day challenge has changed over 5,000 warriors' lives worldwide, and we hope to be yours next.
Warriors, let's get your together. Let's go.